First off, there's going to be a new Form 1099-DA that anyone in the US who sold any cryptocurrency in the past year or 2025, that they'll receive this form and it gets reported to the IRS, their total proceeds. You'll have to make sure you report it on your 1040 tax return.
Welcome back, everybody. Adesic Podcast episode number 4. We got some exciting topics for you today. Here we are featuring Will Swope, the big dog in the house, resident tax expert at Adesic. We're talking all things taxes today, what you need to know, what you don't need to know, and really why you should care, right? We have some other exciting topics coming up too, talking really about AI and crypto. AI has been in the news everywhere, all over my feed, everywhere the last few weeks. AI and crypto, some really interesting topics there, talking about AI agents and stablecoins, wallets, as well as some other interesting things going on in the news, new Tether stablecoin coming up, and some other updates from us as well. How are you feeling today, Zach?
I'm doing great, jazzed up. Episode 4, the podcast no one wanted. We need a name.
Like you said, we're looking for a name. Yep, we're looking for a name. And Will, I'll pass it over to you, Will. Please introduce yourself to everyone watching.
Yeah, hi, I'm Will. Like you said, I'm the tax guy. Excited to be here, talk about some crypto taxes here.
Yeah, crypto taxes, right? This is there's some new things going on this year, right? Well, what's new with the IRS and these exciting crypto taxes?
A lot of things. First off, there's going to be a new Form 1099-DA that anyone in the US who sold any cryptocurrency in the past year or 2025, that they'll receive this form and it gets reported to the IRS, their total proceeds. You'll have to make sure you report it on your 1040 tax return.
When you say sold, is this you mean selling for cash, or you mean selling for another cryptocurrency? What defines a taxable event in the scope of a 1099-DA?
Yeah, it's a very great question. So any time that you have a cryptocurrency that either gets transferred to or converted to a different cryptocurrency or gets sold for USD cash, that is a taxable event.
And could you describe, what even is a 1099-DA? Like, what does that actually mean in, like, I don't know, human terms?
So non-tax terms, let's simplify it. It's basically a form that goes from the brokerage to the IRS, and so that the IRS knows generally like how much proceeds were reported by the customer during the year. There's a lot of other 1099 forms out there. The common ones are like for interest and dividends. It's like the same type of thing, but this is for cryptocurrency. And it's important to know that for 2025 that the cost basis that the customer like originally purchased the cryptocurrency at, that will not be reported on the 1099-DA.
Is this only U.S. exchanges, U.S. crypto exchanges or desks that'll issue this form?
Well, it goes based on the customer. So
based on the customer. Okay.
It's for U.S. customers. Yeah.
If I'm a user of one of these platforms, how do I get my 1099-DA form? Or do I get it, or how does that work?
Right. So on Adesic, they will be mailed. You'll get an email for it, and you can also log on to the adesic.com website, and you can see all of your transactions there. So you'll need that to figure out your cost basis for transactions that were on Adesic. Basically, for all the cost bases, you'll have to go in and either consult a CPA or someone, or you can figure out yourself. Basically, all the cost basis for your gains and losses for the year.
What happens if you don't report a cost basis? Because I'm sure that's a lot of people just aren't going to report their cost basis, but their 1099-DA is going to get processed.
You have your proceeds that you exchange the cryptocurrency for, and then you subtract your original price that you purchased it. So that's known as the cost basis. That's how you calculate the gain or loss. So if you report the proceeds and no cost basis, you will be severely over-reporting your taxable income, which no one wants to do.
No, we don't want to do that. Is there a tax rate on these transactions? Is it like long-term, short-term capital gains or something?
Yeah, so it's the same as a capital gain if you sold a stock or something. So if it's sold within a year, short term, which is you're taxed at your ordinary rate. That rate depends on how much income you have, like what tax bracket you're in. But that is always typically higher than the long-term capital gain rate, which is typically around like 22%
Wow,
or 15. Again, depends how you
your bracket.
what bracket is, yeah.
That makes
But
sense.
it's definitely about like if you have the option to, I would definitely advise to try to get into the long-term capital gains.
There's a lot of people off-ramping their stable coins. Stable coins usually don't move that much in value, so therefore their initial cost shouldn't be that much, you would think, right?
Yeah, if it doesn't change much in value, there won't be much of a gain or loss to report. The IRS views it as it's basically selling an asset. You exchange an asset, which is a taxable event, but you received a new asset in exchange for it. So you still owe, like it's still a taxable event for that first crypto that you transferred. You just happen to get another cryptocurrency in exchange for it.
Are there different methods to cost basis? Like how does cost basis work
Right.
usually?
Yeah, there's a few different methods. The most common is it's called FIFO, stands for first in, first out. So, like if you have multiple transactions, like for Bitcoin, for example, like that initial transaction you had, that's how that cost basis will be tracked. So, whichever one was transferred in first, when you eventually sell it, that's the basis that you would report it with.
Nice. Say is there any way, so we talked about long-term and short-term capital gains. Is there a way to ensure are there different ways of calculating cost basis to ensure you don't get taxed the most? Does that make sense?
I would strongly suggest consulting with your CPA. It's what they get paid to do. So I
Gotcha.
would take advice from them.
Ooh, I just thought of something. I'm not sure what the implications are on this yet, but there's a lot of decentralized exchanges that operate crypto to crypto swaps, and I haven't heard much of them issuing any forms for taxable events for crypto to crypto swaps. Do you know anything about this?
No, but if they're selling crypto, then it's taxable event
Gotcha.
recorded by the IRS. So even if you don't get a 1099 form, it's still taxable income by the IRS. Like there's like there's all different types of crypto based income that aren't required to be a 1099 form, but the IRS has come out and said that it's still taxable income and should be reported on your personal return. Like staking, that's not on the 1099 DA, but it's still taxable income.
Gotcha. So say I interact with these, I don't know, OTC desks or decentralized exchanges, and I do a crypto to crypto swap, and there is a fee involved with using that platform. Is that fee included in my initial cost basis? So technically, if I have like 10 USDC and I trade to USDT, but there's like a 10% fee, I would only got 9 USDT. There's a 10% loss on my trade. Do I report that as a net loss on my 1099 DA?
Yes, so it does get included in the fee, in the basis, yeah.
That's good to know.
So this is the first year they issued the 1099 DEA forms. Next year for 2026, the plan is by the IRS that the cost basis is also included on the forms as well. So it'll help make the customer's lives a little easier. But with the IRS, things tend to be delayed a bit. So we'll see if it does come to fruition for 2020. We'll see closer to the end of the year, how things are shaking out. But as of right now, the plan is the basis will be reported on the 2026.
Do you know how long it took for this iteration of the 1099 DA to get rolled out?
It had been talked about for the last probably at least a year or two, and
Year or
then
two.
they announced like the official plan for it probably like sometime within 2025. So it gave some like the company some time to like get a process on it, but the official form wasn't released until last like 2 or 3 months.
Yep, that makes sense. Will, do you have anything else you want to share, by the way? Any points we didn't hit?
I think we covered all the general information that people need to know for their taxes regarding cryptocurrency this year. But yeah, it was a great conversation. So thank you guys for having me on. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. All right. Well, that was great from Will. Great hearing from Will. Nice insights on the 1099 DA. I am really glad that he is part of our team because without him, there we would be in trouble.
Taxes are not fun, right? As
No,
everybody knows.
no.
What else is going on in the news today, Zach? I mean, we got some big current events taking place, right? We need to kick it off with
Yeah.
like Tether recently. Like, what's
We
going on
got
in Tether right now?
Tether is launching USAT. It is a compliant stablecoin in the US. It seems that they're just going to make a push with a different token, probably for reputational and compliance reasons. USDT is huge. It does have some scrutiny of which we are not going to focus on with this latest news. But yeah, it's through Anchorage Digital. They're going to launch USAT. I'm not sure when exactly it's going to come out. I don't think it already came out, right, Drew?
I think it is actually live and launched.
Oh, it's live.
I only think there's like a few vendors currently able to mint or burn the stablecoin and have access to like the distribution rails. I was looking into seeing if how difficult it would be to open an account to work with Anchorage Digital to get access to USAT liquidity, but I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's fully open quite yet compared to like USDC.
Yeah.
Looks like they're still in like the early phases of distribution.
I'm gonna look up their market cap actually. I'm curious
Yeah, I'm not,
if there is a
not
lot
sure. I mean,
going on. It's definitely pegged to the dollar stablecoin. Let's see. Coin market cap says that the market cap's 20 million. So it looks like they're still kind of in like the testing phases, the early phases.
yeah.
Either that or there's just no demand for that. I mean, USDC is ginormous. It has all the utility, all the liquidity pools are in USDC or USDT. I'm curious how they're going to roll out and kind of scale or try to take back some market share.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they are going. It's going to be distribution is very difficult amongst stablecoins, that's for sure. I want to mention too, I think one of the reasons that Tether is doing this is because they don't actually plan on making USDT compliant with the Genius framework, right? That's the reason why they're launching the stablecoin is because they want to have a Genius compliant stablecoin in the United States, right?
Yes, that's correct. And then I think they would have to get some sort of audit on USDT as well, of which would be monstrously expensive, and it's just cheaper and faster for them to kind of just start over, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another thing too, under the Genius Act, it mandates that these stable coins are backed under United States treasuries. And I believe with USDT, it's not 100% backed in treasuries. Like they back USDT primarily in United States T-bills and bonds and treasuries, but they also have exposure to gold and exposure to Bitcoin, and that creates a significant upside for the Tether company where they can earn more interest by having the stablecoin USDT backed in gold or Bitcoin, and exposure to United States treasuries versus having it all in treasuries, which is what looks like their plan is for this latest stablecoin. So I don't know. It seems like yeah, the compliance side of things is very difficult, and then they would have to change completely their like I don't know their holding model.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There is definitely some strategic advantages for not holding all US treasuries for your reserves. I think we know diversification is very crucial. We did see USDC has, I think they have all their backings in treasuries, and there was a point where one of their banks went under, SVB, that was having some issues, we'll say, and USDC depegged because a lot of their reserves were through SVB, which is very interesting to see. I think diversification will almost always win out in the long run, but I'm just glad that we have some framework for to move the industry forward.
I have a question. Do you think it might be a dumb question, but do you think that will it be easier to obtain USAT versus something like USDT?
First of all, Lauren, there are no dumb questions in crypto. And second, yes, I do believe that it will be easier for businesses like ours or their businesses in the United States to access USAT versus USDT, or at least like
Right.
mint it, burn it, buy it, sell it. It will be probably pegged 1-for-1 with the dollar, very similar to USDC. But I don't know. I'm curious what is gonna like what is the future of USDT going to look like in the United States? So I believe under Mika in Europe, USDT has been delisted from all of the major exchanges because it's not MiCA compliant. So, is that what's going to take place here in the United States? Are major exchanges going to be removing USDT from their balance sheets, off their books? We won't be able to buy it, sell it, trade it. I don't know. That's going to be well, the future will be interesting.
It would be very
Oh.
interesting if Anchorage Digital would allow some sort of USDT to USAT conversion, some sort of like something like Circle's CCTP, but for these two stable coins. I don't know what that would look like. There'd probably be some sort of compliance nightmare to say the least, but I'm wondering what the liquidity between the two would be, considering
Yeah,
how there's no utility for USAT right now. It's too early to tell.
it would be real nice if we could convert USAT to USDT, right? 1-to-1. That would be the dream. But I doubt that will happen. Another big piece of news that has just been announced very recently here is that Bridge got approved for a OCC bank charter, right? OCC, what does OCC stand for again? Officer of the Currency Control, something similar like that, right, Zach? I mean, I don't know. There's a pattern going on here. We're seeing a lot of major cryptocurrency companies. We were just talking Gemini, I believe, too, the
Yep.
cryptocurrency exchange. There's Circle, BitGo, Paxos.
And
All of
Coinbase
these big
too.
crypto players, Coinbase as well, they're all applying for these to become an OCC bank. I believe even Revolut mentioned recently that they were going to change their kind of strategy. Revolut was initially looking at buying a bank in the United States, but now with the new administration, they're looking at actually taking this route of applying to be a bank. I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I think big picture, I've been saying this for a long time. Every bank is going to want to custody your cryptocurrency. That's what it's going to come down to. Or every bank slash crypto exchange, they're just going to kind of merge. They're going to kind of become one in the same. They're going to start offering the same products, loans, crypto exchanges, and at the end of the day, they're going to want to hold your crypto. And we already kind of see this with some of these crypto exchanges, like for instance, Coinbase, Gemini, and I think even Robinhood. They're issuing credit cards that have crypto-based reward systems. And what they do is they incentivize you getting more cash back in crypto the more you hold in their platform. So what does this mean? So Coinbase in particular offers a Bitcoin-based system where you spend money, USD, at a restaurant or something, you get cash back in Bitcoin. I think it's up to 5%, but the more Bitcoin that you hold inside of Coinbase, the more cash back you get. And so we're kind of seeing this, like users being incentivized to hold their crypto on these major platforms. And obviously these major platforms are custodial, and then they go and do whatever loans, or they make yield, or they go and they make money with your money, right? Just like how banks do.
Yeah, fractional reserve banking. And what you described too, I mean, it reminded me a lot of like crypto.com. They have I think it's their own coin, CRO coin, where if you hold like, I don't know, a lot of it, like 50 grand or something like this, they'll give you really these incredible cashback credit card rewards. So I don't know, even like Gemini, they launched recently their popular credit card. But I think at a high level too, like I've got the brief up here right now from Bridge is like what this OCC charter and approval allows them to do is custody assets like you're describing. They can hold digital assets, they can hold fiat, they can issue their own stable coins now. That's a really big piece too. I think we were just talking about Anchorage Digital and USAT. I think Anchorage Digital may be OCC approved as well. I don't know what type of charter they have, but that allows them to now issue stablecoins compliantly under the Genius framework and manage these stablecoin reserve systems. I don't know, and then offer to like, I guess if you're a bank as well, you have direct access to the Federal Reserve, so you could be able to access, like FedWire, FedNow, Fed ACH, Fed checking. So I don't know, there's a lot of perks to having a bank charter. Another thing too is
Absolutely.
I believe under the OCC, they're federally compliant. So that means they can offer their services throughout the entire United States versus having like a state bank charter, say in the state of like Wyoming or something like this, right? So I don't know. There's a few pros and cons here, but it does seem like a lot of the major players are moving in this direction.
That's powerful. That's kind of like the next piece of the puzzle that everyone's doing, trying to get um, a big share of the pie, if you would. We even see this. These other players are trying to get a grip. We saw Brex, it just integrated stablecoins, and then right after they integrated stablecoins, they got acquired by Capital One for $5 billion. So Capital One, kind of one of these financial players, now has the infrastructure for all this to kind of become a major player as well. Everyone's trying to make moves, and it seems like
In the
this kind
stablecoin
of
space.
stable coins first,
Yeah.
and then we got this OCC bank charter, which is
Bridge is one of
just kind of
the
the meta.
Bridge is one of the major stablecoin orchestration platforms. I mean, they got bought by Stripe for like $1 billion. I believe even Brex is likely, this is a guess, allegedly, this is my guess, Brex is likely using Bridge under the hood to do the stablecoin orchestration
Oh yeah.
because of how popular they are. So I don't know, good for them. It's very interesting to see the kind of trends that, these large companies are taking. Another big exciting topic that I was hoping to talk about with you as well is this crossover of AI crypto. So I don't know if you've been watching like the news, but AI is going everywhere, right? OpenClaw, big open source repository to do agentic AI. The new Anthropic Claude Opus models are coming out. You got the OpenAI Codex. We're seeing the rise of agentic software, Zach. So, like, what do you think on the way these AI agents are going to be interacting with crypto?
Yeah, I think for interaction with crypto in particular, the first thought that comes to me is kind of like trading. So we are going to have agents creating algorithms to trade crypto on behalf of institutions, people, some sort of entity. And what we're going to see is more of these AIs spun up at will because of these tools like ChatGPT Codex or Claude. And as a result, we're going to see some tighter spreads. We're going to see more strategies, more bots getting creative. Some just to kick that conversation that off, Drew. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not very bullish on these AIs trading. I feel like, yeah, I mean, trading in general, high frequency trading is incredibly difficult. It
Oh
is
yeah.
not easy. I feel like the majority of these AI agents won't actually have an advantage in the trading field. I did see someone run recently like an experiment on X where they gave all of the major models. So it was like Gemini, OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok, XAI. I don't know. Like they gave all these models a little bit of money and they had to trade algorithmically. And I think every single one of them ended up losing money over time. So I don't know how these trading bots will actually perform in the real markets if they'll make money or not. But I do agree with like your concept of like, okay, these wallets are going to be, we're going to see like a lot more spam or something for sure. Like in the crypto space, like meme coins popping up. The area that I think is going to be more interesting is going to be the crossover between these AI agents and like using stable coins or wallets to transact. For
Hold
example,
hold hold up. Can we linger on the trading point for a second?
sure,
There's
yeah,
like
what are your thoughts?
there's like so most of these exchanges have like these market makers which are fully automated. But going off of like AI's trading, these AIs now have the capabilities to kind of read the blockchains. There's an acronym here about APIs being exposed. I can't think of the acronym off the top of my head, but these AIs can now scan the blockchains and look for successful trading strategies and copy them. It's kind of like generational. There's also this concept of generations of AI training on previous generations, and they get better and they get better.
Hmm.
That's a concept too. But now that AIs can scan the blockchain, look for successful trading strategies, and kind of iterate on that, I think we don't see it now. Obviously, that like you just tell an LLM to trade crypto, it's going to lose money. But there's potential is what I'm getting at.
I agree. There's potential. I just haven't seen it. I don't know. I feel like in the current generation today of the models that exist, this is my take. I don't see them working to generate massive amounts of profit. I mean, yeah, we could do copy trading, like you're saying, copying wallets or making money, but I don't know. Today, I'm have a hard time believing that that is going to be a solid way to make money, like using these AIs to do algorithmic trading. But for
If
sure, I mean,
they're
there's going to be like some supercomputer maybe Sam Altman has a supercomputer in the basement of OpenAI that is like globally pulling the strings of the world, right? Executing the markets, creating FUD. I mean, what's crazy too with these AI agents is like you could spin up a million bots on like social media to influence a
Oh yeah.
stock price or something, right? Influence the news to drive the stock price up or down. I mean, maybe that will happen, right? I could see that happening right now. You spin up a swarm of AI agents to do some bot farming or something to
An
change
AGI
sentiment.
would definitely play in that. That would be kind of like a death by a thousand cuts or something, or there'd be some mass market manipulation to then go and like it wouldn't happen over. Maybe it would. Maybe the slash flash crash was something
I
created
could
from
see, I
AI.
mean, I could honestly, I could totally see this happening. This is like the plot of like Westworld in, I don't know, it's
Yes,
a TV show in one of the later seasons of these
great
guys had
show.
like some megalithic like AI computer that they were using to make all of their money. I don't know if these agents are intelligent enough to do this today, but I could totally see this happening over time. There's no doubt about it. Um, the area though that I do want to pivot into that I think is arguably like where things are at today is like these AI agents using stablecoins to transact either for themselves or maybe even on behalf of like their human that is like programming them, right? And the reason that I think this is going to take place too is because these AI agents can't open bank accounts, right? They're not a real person.
Nope.
They can't adhere to KYC rules. Like there's no facial scan. They don't have a social security number. Bank accounts, dude, bank accounts are so difficult to open and actually then plug into to move money. There is no API that I can use to download my data from Bank of America or programmatically execute transactions from my bank account. It just doesn't exist. I mean,
Nope.
some of the neobanks make this easier with their
Mercury
APIs, but
Brex. Yeah.
yeah, but even then, it's not you like these AI agents can't open these accounts. Whereas with these crypto wallets and stablecoins, you could do this directly to your CLI. Spin up a crypto wallet. My human, I could give my AI agent some USDC, and now I could tell it, hey, go buy this thing on Amazon for me, right? I feel like that is where things could get interesting here.
Yeah, especially with OpenClaw too. Have your OpenClaw do a subscription or something, or put like a camera in your fridge and just have it
Yes,
maintain the base. I need like 3 sticks of butter. I need like I need
yes.
some milk. I don't think that
I
but
I saw a guy do this where he bought the Meta Ray-Ban glasses with the cameras on it and he hooked it up to his OpenClaw and he was like pointing his camera into his fridge and he was like, hey, I need this, this, and this. Add it to my Amazon cart and the OpenClaw and then he's like, oh yeah, and then he goes and buys it, right? So I like this. We're seeing like very early use cases for actually like agentic shopping, and I think it's this type of shopping is going to be done more in like a decentralized way because it's just so much easier for these AI agents to spin up wallets. But at the same time, how do they get the stable coins, right? So I don't know, but it's gonna
wonder
be
if
interesting. That's right.
Amazon I wonder if Amazon will open up some sort of like APIs and then start accepting stable coins, because that might, I don't know what the demand would be, but it seems like it could be something, or maybe that's
Oh, I
someone's product
agree.
already.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I saw people predicting like there's going to be trillions of dollars in commerce being done every year by these AI agents. I mean, I think that could happen over time. But today, the majority of businesses don't accept stablecoins as payments, right? There's too much friction. These businesses don't have wallets. So I feel like in order to enable this $1 trillion of AI agents executing transactions, buying things, we need to get businesses to accept crypto payments, right? Like it needs to be easier. Yeah.
Maybe there's a form of like express route conversion where the businesses accept those stable coins and then they're instantly converted to dollars, because we've seen friction in the past where businesses, if they do accept crypto, then they have the liability of them having to manage a bunch of cryptocurrencies and then convert them to US dollars. And that adds a lot of overhead onto their daily operations. And then we just talked with Will about taxable events. So every crypto liquidation to dollars is a taxable event, and that'll be a 1099 DA. So there's a lot of
Oh yeah, yeah.
tax friction
Friction.
when it comes to that too.
Yeah.
So ideally, like you would want the user to then, or the person shopping to then have that, like as a business, we would want the user to have that liquidation event be taxable to them. But if it's an AI agent, you can't tax an AI agent. Or do you
Hmm.
tax the owner of the AI agent? But what if the owner of an AI agent is an AI agent? So there's some sort of,
No, I think you're thinking about it the wrong way. Like in this case, there's really the way I see it, there's kind of like two problems. Like the problem you're talking about is like these businesses they don't understand crypto. They need wallets. They need tax infrastructure. They need accounting infrastructure so that they can accept these payments from these AI agents, automatically have the tax and accounting receipt stuff done for them, and then have their payment converted into whatever currency they want, whether that's dollars or euros or whatever it may be, right? There's that major issue. And then getting more businesses to use this infrastructure to enable agentic payments, right? And into your tax point, I think this tax liability would fall on the business because they're the ones that are accepting the payment in crypto and then converting it to dollars. So like that's a taxable event for the business. But then there's the other side of things, which is like enabling the wallet infrastructure to allow these AI agents to go out and buy things, like, or have their human. Like if I did an OpenClaw AI assistant setup, right? There's no easy way that's super intuitive where I can just open a wallet for my AI agent, oversee everything it's doing, set policies in place, give it a little bit of spend to play with, and tell it to go buy these things for me, right? Like I'm not going to trust an agent with access to all of my money. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of it at a time and top it up here and there to buy things or do a little bit of trading or whatever. But there's got to be some type of like overhead policy in place, website where I can go and configure everything, and that infrastructure doesn't exist today. So I don't know.
can't believe
It's
there's got to
interesting.
be someone making this. You would think.
I mean, all right, this is really interesting too. So what I've saw in the last few weeks here is I believe it's both Circle and Stripe were working on some type of like agentic, I don't know, agentic commerce stuff. I think Coinbase just recently launched like a open source agentic wallet product, but I was looking into this and they don't actually have a way for an easy, intuitive, and simple way for me as a human to go and spin up an AI agent and then like set policy controls in place or like do this on a website. Like I was looking into it, doesn't seem to exist. I saw Stripe launch an agent commerce type of product recently too. I think they're using blanking on the term. It's like 420x or something. I don't know what the right protocol is in HTTP requests.
I
Something
saw
it's like
that.
request for payment stuff. So I don't know. There's some stuff working on it, but it's like it's not easy enough to the point where like I feel like I'm like very heavily invested in this stuff. It's something that I couldn't even easily do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's coming to my mind is that there exists no composable interface for you as a human to then create an AI agent and then give it the things that it needs to do its job, right? You can't
Oversee it.
you can't
Manage
drop
it.
a Coinbase wallet in, you can't drop a MetaMask wallet in because one, there's no there's no unified API for any of this stuff. There's no standard, kind of like the Wild West with operating systems, right? There was Linux, there was there was Mac, and then there was like Windows, and they're just not compatible with each other. So it kind of reminds me of that, right? Everyone's trying to make their own products. They're trying to solve the same problems using different varying solutions, and they're just not. And then there's different blockchains too, right? Which are obviously not compatible with each other. So there's no glue to hold everything together quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're working at the protocol level. So, like, I just looked it up. The protocol is called X402 protocol. It's an open standard inside of like an HTTP request. Except this is called for like, it's like a request for payment type of thing. I call it payment required status code. So, like, it kind of exists at the API level, but it doesn't, outside of that, there's zero usability for an actual human, right? Like, it's not, like, I can't, if it's not easy for me to interface with it, then, like, what are we doing here, right? And I don't know. So we'll see what happens, but I mean, this is like super interesting, and I personally do believe that we're going to see a lot of agentic commerce popping up, and who the hell knows what it's going to look like on the AI trading level. I mean, well, it's gonna get right.
Yeah, for any vendor is now going to need to support two interfaces, one for your average human
Needs to be simple.
Yeah, it needs to be simple, and then your X402 payment gateway, or just an interface for AI agents. So for some people, it's already hard enough to maintain one. Now you're going to maintain two.
Yeah,
they're probably only going to support wherever 80% of their demand's coming from anyways, which is right now is those humans. So
that's going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think that's it for our show today, guys. And thank you for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I don't know, any closing thoughts, Seth?
Yeah, come over to adesic.com, check out our new UI refresh. Looks dope.
Yes, we'll be dropping some videos on that soon.
Yeah, send your AI agent over there. Tell it to leave us some comments, leave some code review for it, or any suggestions would be appreciated.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.